Hello everybody, this is Anita, your science teacher. Children, today we're going to learn the first lesson from your textbook, which is food production in plants. Now, before we start the lesson, it's important to know about the plant. We all know that there are two groups, the living thing and the non-living thing. And the plant, it comes under the living thing group. There are certain characteristics of living thing and non-living thing, which is that the living thing, they grow, they breathe, they reproduce, they feel, and they can produce their food. So these are the characteristics of living thing. Since most of these are found in a plant, it is called the living thing. Amongst all the living things, it's only the plant which can prepare its own food. We all know that human beings like me, you, and the animals, we cannot prepare the food by ourselves without using the ingredients. For example, if you have to make chapati, you need the wheat, you need the water, you need the salt to make the batter, and then we make the chapati. If you have to make any dal, we need different ingredients. So we get food, we the human being, we get the food from two different categories. One, it is from the plant, and the other, we get it from the animals, which is the meat. So we consume both of them to get energy. Even the animals, they depend on the plants and other animals to have their food. But plant is the only thing which does not depend on any other thing, but it uses the ingredients or it uses the things which is surrounding to it. We will speak about it in detail. Before we understand the food production in plant, it is important to know the structure of leaf, because leaf is an essential thing in producing the food in a plant. So children, look at the structure of the leaf. You have seen leaf, there are different in shape, different in size, different in color. But leaf is the most important thing in a plant to prepare the food. Okay, so now let's look at the structure of a leaf. Starting, it is from the stem. You see the stem, and then you have the stipules, which is here, and then you have the petiole, which is here, and then you have a mid vein. This is called the mid vein or mid rib. Okay, in the leaf, if you can take a leaf which is near your house or in your house, take a leaf, observe the leaf carefully. You will see that there is a mid vein like this in all the leaf, and then you have the lateral veins like this, the small veins like this. Okay, one is the main vein, which is called the midrib, and then you have these small veins like this. Almost all the leaves will have the same structure, only thing the size will differ, the shape may differ. And then you have the margin, the edge of the leaf. This is called the margin. And the space between the vein, between these veins, it is called the blade or lamina. And then at the top, you have the tip of the leaf. So this is the basic structure of any leaf. Okay. Now, the leaf, as said before, it plays a very important role in the part of any plant. We all know that the leaf is the important thing which prepares the food in a plant. Let us now look at how does a leaf prepare the food in the plant. If you observe this picture, you can see you have the roots, the stem, and then different leaves, and you have the branches. Okay? Now let us look at how does the plant prepare its food in the plant. So children, what are the important things that is required for a leaf to prepare the food? At foremost, it requires the sunlight, the carbon dioxide, the water, and the mineral present in the sun. So it requires the sunlight, the water, and carbon dioxide, and the minerals that is present in the soil. It requires all these things to prepare its food. Now let us see how it prepares the food. At the beginning, it is the root that will absorb the water and the minerals present in the soil, and it will send it to the stem. From the stem, it is carried to the leaf. Children, you have noticed that most of the leaf are green in color. Now, why do you think the leaf is in green in color? It is because of the pigment that is present in the leaf, which is called as chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll is important for a plant because that will help the leaf in producing or preparing the food for the plant. So, we see that the water and the mineral is carried from the root to the stem, from the stem to the leaf. And the leaf is green in color because it has the pigment called chlorophyll. This chlorophyll helps in observing the sunlight. This chlorophyll will help in observing the sunlight from the sun. Now, once the chlorophyll takes the sunlight, then you have a small holes in the leaf, which is called stomata. There are small holes in the leaf called stomata. This will help in observing the carbon dioxide from the air. Now, once the sunlight, the carbon dioxide and the water and mineral present in the leaf will convert it into the food which the plant requires. So once the food is prepared, it will start circulating to all the parts of the plant. Once the food is being circulated, it so happens that it is not that all the food is being accumulated or consumed by the plant. Sometimes the food remains. Now, the food which has remained, it is called as the starch. We have all seen that when your mom prepares the food in the house, sometimes there is extra food that remains, extra chapati, extra rice. What does your mom do? She keeps that in a tiffin box or she keeps that in a bowl and then she keeps it in the refrigerator. So that will preserve the food. But do you think our plant has a refrigerator to store the food? No. So what happens? The remaining food that is present, that is left over, it will start accumulating that in the form of starch. In the form of starch. So starch is the remaining food that is left over after the food has been consumed by the plant. So these starch are stored in the roots, the stem, the leaf, the fruits, the vegetables, which we people consume. By consuming these, we get energy, we get good nutrients, proteins. So this is how we human beings consume the food which has good starch in it that has been stored by the plant. Now, having said that, the carbon dioxide, the sunlight, everything enters the leaf, and then the leaf prepares the food. Now, there is another important thing that we need to understand, children. Now, once the carbon dioxide is taken, the sunlight is taken, the food is prepared. Now, the leaf has to send out the other air that is not required, which is the oxygen. The plant, the leaf, it requires only the carbon dioxide to prepare the food. So after preparing, it sends out another important air, which is oxygen, and this oxygen is very essential for all the animals and human beings like us. So the food that is prepared by the plants, it is called as glucose, but it is in the form of sugar. The food that the plant prepare is called as glucose. It is in the form of sugar. Children, I hope this portion is clear. The root takes the water and the mineral and passes it through the stem. From the stem, it goes to the leaf. The leaf absorbs the sunlight and carbon dioxide and converts the water and the mineral into food, which is called as the glucose in the form of sugar, and that is being used by all the parts of the body. While it absorbs the carbon dioxide and sun, there is another air that goes out from the leaf, which is called the oxygen, and this oxygen is very important for human beings and the animals. So this is how the food is produced in the plants. Now, we all know that we need food. The human beings and the animals, we need food for energy. Why do you think the plants would require the food? The plants require food for growing. We all know it is from a seed, the plant is grown and then it becomes a tree. So, but how? It needs the food to grow. So the food is being prepared in a plant to grow, and there are some cells which has been damaged. That has to be repaired. Now, if there is some problem with us or some problem with the animals, they go to the veterinary doctor and we go to the doctor to get our problems resolved. Or if there is any damage in the body part, we go to the doctor and get it repaired. But what about the plants? They need to repair by themselves. So that's the reason it is essential for them to produce the food, to grow, to repair their cells and to have new cells. After that, for the next most important thing is to release the oxygen. Children, here it is important to know the relationship between the human being like us and the animals and the relation between the plant. We all know that we take in oxygen and we leave out the carbon dioxide. The plant, in turn, it takes in the carbon dioxide and it gives out the oxygen. Amongst us, if one of them also, if we are not there, the life cycle is impossible. If only plants are there, they cannot survive. If only human beings and animals are there, we cannot survive. Because plants gives us oxygen and we give them carbon dioxide. So it is very important that both of us balance in the life. There should be equal proportion of the plants, the animals, and the human beings. It is very important. And the starch, I have informed that the plants, after consuming the food, the remaining food, they store it in the form of starch. It is being stored in the roots, the stem, the leaf, the fruits, the vegetables. And this is being consumed by human beings and animals to get energy. And then we have There are children, if you have noticed, there are some plants which is not green in color. And we know the plants or the leaf is green in color because of the chlorophyll present in it. The chlorophyll helps in the production of the in taking in the sunlight, and this in turn helps in the production of the food. But some plants, they do not have this chlorophyll in them. They are red in color, they're in different colors. So what happens in that case? In that case, they depend on the plants which are in green in color, and they take the food on the decaying plants or the dead plants. Okay, and then this has been discussed, the relationship between the plant and the animals. That the animals take in the oxygen, they give out the carbon dioxide. The plant, it takes in the carbon dioxide and gives out the oxygen. Okay, children, there is one more thing to be understood, that the food production in plant is called as photosynthesis. What do you mean by photosynthesis? The preparation of food is called as photosynthesis. Photo means sunlight, synthesis means to prepare. For the food to be prepared in the plant, the sunlight, the carbon dioxide, the water, the mineral, these are very essential. With it, the chlorophyll and these stomata, these are also very important parts of the leaf that will help in the preparation of the food. So children, I hope this class, it is clear, and I hope you have understood all the points that we discussed in the class. Thank you, children.